I'm Dilbar Shatterson, and welcome to USTC360. Today we are going to visit PengJen Sia, a Tzu Chi volunteer who emigrated from Taiwan to California. To support her growing family, she needed to take action. A particular Jing Si Aphorism that paints a great picture of PengJen is, over time, we can build great character, achieve great success, and cultivate great virtue. For moments of struggle and frustration, we can steer ourselves onto a better path like PengJen by going the extra mile in her social, professional, and spiritual life. And absolutely, from PengJen's example, we can see how she takes an active role in her local school systems, in Tzu Chi, and of course, as a mom. Let's see her story now.
It is hard to attain human form and hear the Dharma, yet we've attained them. A great teacher is hard to find. I have heard these sayings many times, but I'd always ignore them. If I hadn't joined Tzu Chi, I wouldn't have known how true they are. Now, I am inspired and touched by these three phrases. I'm really grateful that my daughter led me here. It all started because she wanted to learn Chinese, so we looked for a Chinese school.
My mom just came. She was just looking around in different cities. Whatever Chinese school was the closest, and maybe if I could just learn as much Chinese as I can.
She registered at the school in 1995 and began classes in 1996.
Since then, I joined and began my predestined relationship with Tzu Chi.
Hi, good morning.
I've been here for 2-3 decades now. Because my husband worked here, so I had to move to the US after getting married. It was hard feeding a family of 4 with one salary. So I thought about getting a job. In the beginning, my husband didn't want me to. He didn't even want me driving. So I said, "How can you get around without a car in LA?" So I went and took driving lessons. After learning how to drive, I found a job. It's actually hard to make a living in the US. You need to know how to drive and speak a bit of English. Though I am grateful that I came to the US and learned to be independent, I don't think I'll be this independent if I stayed in Taiwan.
She's very nice at the beginning. We even use sign language when we want to talk to each other. And we understand. She's a very dedicated person. She's, like everybody, we make mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes. But she tries to do her job, so not perfect, but well. So she tried not to make mistakes.
I found the supervisor is fair. Everything we do together as a team. Whoever is done first helps the others to finish.
She likes teamwork, a lot of teamwork, and I don't see her. I don't see her mad very often. Always, she's happy, and she's smiling and help the co-workers and everything.
Her English has improved a lot too. Now she understands what I'm saying.
From a housewife who couldn't speak any English, PengJen transformed herself and overcame obstacles in language and daily commute in order to make a living in the US and grow roots here. Her cheerful personality helps her get along with everyone.
Sometimes when I get my days off, I will attend a funeral pray, and if there are prayers for people who passes away, I go whenever I'm able to. I'm really grateful to be able to do this. I get off work at 10 a.m., then continue from 1:30 or 2 until 4 p.m. This is my regular weekday work schedule.
After her shift at the public high school, she rushes to Tzu Chi's Great Love preschool in Monrovia. even though it is a little bit frightening for a 63-year-old lady to be driving on the road. For PengJen, it's nothing to her as long as she can do Tzu Chi.
I don't know how to drive on the freeways. Don't you see I'm grateful? So, I'm really grateful.
Gratitude has been PengJen's life motto ever since she's been involved in Tzu Chi.
My main duty at the preschool is to clean up. The children are given snacks at 2:30 p.m. If they've been prepared, I will deliver the snacks to them. If not, then I'll prepare them. It usually consists of snacks and fruits, and now it's essential to serve milk.
She's very energetic. I think Tzu Chi makes her very happy. She's happy to be able to work here. She tells me all the time how she is really blessed to be able to do so much with good health.
I'm very grateful that I can still work. That's all, nothing else.
She always loves to tell me, don't give yourself too much pressure. As long as you've done your best, don't worry about it. There's no point in giving yourself too much pressure.
I used to worry a lot. A fellow Tzu Chi volunteer told me, just try to do your best. I was so inspired. Once you've given your best, it's enough. Otherwise, there's endless work and endless worries.
I feel Sister PengJen really helps us a lot. She doesn't see her work as only a job, even though she is paid staff. She sees herself as a volunteer. She will be there whenever we need help.
Don't miss the opportunity. We have sign language on Wednesday.
After PengJen's continuous encouragement, many volunteer mothers have begun to participate in more of Tzu Chi's events. In this huge family that is Great Love Preschool, the naive and energetic children have inspired PengJen to cherish each moment.
I am so blessed to be able to see these 3-year-olds influenced by the Buddhist Dharma. It took me years to accept the Dharma. They are really blessed. But I am very grateful and blessed to know Tzu Chi. I get to learn, to serve, and to gain more.
My own mother is not here in the States, so when Sister PengJen is here, I feel comfortable being affectionate to her and asking for help. She's like family.
For PengJen, her work at Tzu Chi is a perfect blend of her profession and her mission. Master's Dharma has been deeply rooted in her heart. Learning while serving, realizing while learning, gaining wisdom while being awakened, and cultivating gratitude. After joining the Tzu Chi family, PengJen, who enjoys teamwork, never misses the Dharma study groups and other occasional events. This is the final rehearsal for the Tzu Chi Dharma boat performance at the Dodgers Taiwan Day. The volunteers will simulate a boat's voyage on the ocean. Through coordinated sign language and drum beats, their synchronized performance symbolizes Tzu Chi's unwavering faith and resolution to bring the Dharma to everyone in the world. Excited to perform at Dodger Stadium, all the volunteers practiced hard, hoping to put their best performance on stage to showcase Tzu Chi to the mainstream community and to spread Tzu Chi Dharma.
Is a volunteer-based international humanitarian organization founded in 1966 by Master PengJen in Taiwan.
After weeks of rehearsals, the bond and mutual trust among the volunteers were apparent in the few minutes of the performance. For PengJen, the cohesiveness of the Tzu Chi family moves her beyond words.
While it requires active practice to fully engage oneself in a spiritually inspired lifestyle, some habits are much more difficult to change. In our next segment, we'll see how PengJen had a distant relationship with her daughter and see what efforts she has made to strengthen it, and who else is now a part of the renewed life that she leads. By continuing and furthering her practice through the Lotus Sutra sequence, we'll see just how her personal relationships have strengthened and how she is able to give back even more to the people in her life. The Lotus Sutra is one of the many Buddhist texts, also called sutras. To recite from the Lotus Sutra every morning, according to Dharma Master Zheng Yan, is as though one offers the flowers of the heart to Buddha and the Bodhisattvas, or enlightened beings. So with constant and mindful effort, PengJen demonstrates how our struggle to remedy our own faults can bring us closer to bringing alive our peace of mind.
Sister PengJen is everywhere at almost every event. Even the small events, such as the Dharma study groups and kitchen volunteer work. She's quiet, but she's a great role model for all of us. I have great respect for people like her. She's very studious. In all of our Dharma study sessions, the Buddhist etiquette rehearsals, and her study of the Buddhist ritual tools, we can see her dedication. She's a very experienced volunteer. Before I joined the volunteer training committee, she had served for many years. I have great respect for her dedication for all of these years.
When I was young, I went to the temples in Taiwan with my mother and grandmother. I followed them when they were bowing and chanting without really knowing what it meant. It was only after coming here that I realized that the opportunity to know the true Buddhist Dharma is rare. That was when I learned, after hearing masters' lectures, how hard it is to meet a good teacher. I know that now after joining Tzu Chi.
Buddha Dharma, the unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma, in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. But we have all gotten to hear it in such convenience in this lifetime. Aren't we all very blessed and lucky? So we must cherish this rare and special opportunity and be diligent in our cultivation and always be mindful.
Because I read the sutras and serve in Tzu Chi, I understand what the sutras mean. Once, I was suddenly struck by the meaning of it. The Dharma joy is beyond words, so I know that I want to recite the sutras whenever I'm free. Sometimes I don't know what I'm chanting, but another volunteer sister told me, "You'll understand after all." That's what I believe, that I'll understand it eventually.
Sister PengJen has done so much. She's been at almost every event, but when you talk to her, she's always humble about what she has done. She always gives the floor to other people and is humble about what she knows, insisting that she's here to learn. So truly, with such a rich life experience and dedicated learning, she's still humble in all her interactions. We have all learned a very important lesson about humility from her.
Sister PengJen is a great role model. I am really honored to be working with her on the training committee. We have had more time to spend together and to get to know each other. I am really happy to learn from her.
Modest, studious, and diligent, Christina, who was influenced by her mother for all of these years, joined Tzu Chi's Medical Foundation right after she graduated.
It's a little harder. I try, but if it gets too complicated, I might we'll go through like frustration, and then I'll say, "Here, I'll help you instead, and just let me do it."
With her daughter now walking beside her on the Tzu Chi Bodhisattva path, PengJen has grown even more modest. She is a completely different person from when she first joined Tzu Chi.
She would hit her daughter when she was disobedient at home. One time the teacher saw her mark and asked, she said, "My mom hit me."
She loved to cry, and it would make me really mad when she did.
I felt bad for her because the reasons weren't like she did something bad. It was more like she maybe just didn't eat her food. It was scary at times when, sorry. It was scary at times when she would be like that.
I didn't know it at the time, but I hit her every time she cried in order to make her stop. She cried even more when I kept beating her. It didn't help at all. That's how we had the conflict.
Do you like it when people just yell at you for no reasons? You have to talk about issues. She read a lot of the Jing Si Aphorism at Tzu Chi and learned that she could not hit her children anymore.
生气是短暂的发疯，我们两个有的时候就是可能不合。If we're not like, if we have different opinions, then I guess in a way she and I, we can use that against me and I'll use that against her. And then we're like, yeah, okay, then we should talk this out like calmly as normal people, not like crazy people.
It would feel really wrong in my heart when I recalled my actions.
Her attitude completely changed. It was like, she wouldn't tell us, oh, you have to do this. She would just tell us, you just need to do your best. And then she wouldn't yell at us. She would just say, just take your time.
See how well I am able to open the door? Actually, it's predestined relationship for us to know each other in Tzu Chi. She's like a sister to me and a great Dharma family member.
Gloria's mother has Alzheimer's disease, so PengJen visits her occasionally. Because of that, Grandma Liu remembers PengJen very well.
Granny! Who am I? Right. These flowers are for you. Grandma is like my own mother. I'm really touched.
Nobody knows who's the oldest one now.
After decades of knowing each other, PengJen is like family to Gloria, and PengJen sees Grandma Liu as her own mother.
Living with someone with Alzheimer's, and if you do a lot of studies, you know that there's nothing you can do to change their behavior. So you just kind of use a positive support plan for that, positive behavior support plan, and just work with it. Her memory of her goes way back. So if it includes like certain other people she doesn't remember, it's because she only knew them like maybe a couple of years ago. But we knew them a long time already.
在你们家的嘛。
That's the reason why she remembers her. I am a little surprised though, but not technically that shocked.
The first time she came here, she was dazed and confused.
整个乱掉。这个顾家可不是我的家。
Yes, this is your home.
She doesn't even know where she is and whose house is this.
家没人啊。我们家没人啊。
我们家也没人。
啊，这儿也没人啊，出不去啊。哎呀，真少见了。哎呦，我真想你们。两个多礼拜。
You just saw her 2 weeks ago.
啊。
And in my mind, all I was thinking was more like, oh, how I'm gonna learn to do that because I would have to do that in the end. Because, I don't know, it's more like I didn't want my mom to continuously just take care of her by herself. There's a lot of stress that goes on because it's her own mother.
In Tzu Chi, PengJen is happier, more joyful. I'm really glad to see the smile on her face. She was never smiling before. Now she smiles at everyone, all smiling on her face because of the heartfelt joy she has. She's real happy.
Monrovia Tzu Chi Academy, where the two families began their relationship. Although Gloria had not visited for a long time due to caring for her mother, the bonds she built with the other volunteers remained strong.
When I see how joyful and ease she is when she serves, I'm really happy for her. We are also good friends outside of Tzu Chi. We have our own family gatherings together, and even during New Year's and the holidays, we get together for meals and talks. She has grown more optimistic with all the joy and fun we have had.
When I'm with her, I truly feel like family.
I feel honored that my mom is that kind of mom, I guess, you know, that kind of daughter to my grandmother and that kind of mother to me. I feel honored.
Wow, my daughter is wishing me Happy Mother's Day. This is great. This is a blessed, predestined relationship. She has grown to be so much more sensible. I am really grateful. Dear Mom, Happy Mother's Day. Wow, so many Happy Mother's Days.
PengJen happily accepts the carnation from her grateful daughter, Christina. Because of her daughter, PengJen learned of Tzu Chi and joined this big family. This cycle of love will continue forever, from one generation to the next.
I am so touched. Thank you. It's great having you.
Luckily, by the example PengJen sets for her daughter Christina, who has gotten involved in medical volunteer work with Tzu Chi, we have a great deal to witness from her story as she continues her early morning Lotus Sutras, a type of prayer that makes heartfelt offerings. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dilbar Shatterson, and I hope to see you next time.
就很谢谢他，就是能养我这么大，然后就是
没有啊，我在自己才知道说我跟你的缘啊，真的。然后我希望祝福他，就把心开得更大，然后更大方，更帮更多的人，好不好？祝福你们。真的